Hey! I ate Soylent for about a year and a half, pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, for breakfast and lunch. I mean, almost exclusively for a year. It was convenient and easy to do and not too expensive. I'm going to answer questions kind of like you see where people use Google to autofill the questions, because I don't have anyone asking me questions. Also, I found some questions on Reddit. So let's get started. How many months have you been on it? Like I said, about a year and a half probably, almost exclusively. How do you split the daily amount? Each bag is about 2,000 calories, or that's kind of what it's supposed to be. I would do about 800 calories for breakfast and lunch combined. The scoops they give are about a third of a cup scoops. Each scoop is about 200 calories, and so I would put 4 scoops in a big 20-ounce bottle and mix it up. And so each of these has 2,000, so I'd do about 800. So I'd go through, it would take 2.5 days to basically go through one bag at that rate. How do you carry them around? I ordered one of these smaller blender bottles when I first ordered my Soylent. It does 400 calories pretty well. It's kind of marked to fill it that way, but the scoops are easier to keep track of and use. It works okay, but I don't like mixing them up like that. Maybe I'll get to that. These bigger bottles, these bigger blender bottles that hold 20 ounces or a little more, 24 ounces maybe, these are better for the 800 calorie version. So 4 scoops and then filling it up with water really helps it get around. And then, yeah, you basically just carry these bottles around. That's how you carry it. How often do you eat regular food? Every night, basically, and on the weekend. So yeah, it wasn't every meal of every day, but that's what I did, worked absolutely fine. How is your energy level and how do you feel overall? I would say less sluggish, if that makes sense, because although it has some carbs in it, it's not as carby as a lot of food. And so it's very well balanced, and so it never really felt heavy. Generally, it helped me feel pretty even. It was surprising to drink something and then not be hungry a little bit later. Like, it didn't seem particularly thick, but it's actually got a lot of protein in it, and so it fills you up. So I'd say felt pretty good overall. What else do you do to maintain your health? I actually bike to work when I can. When I'm working from home, I go out for a bike ride in the morning and then just come back. But when I was going to the office, I would try to bike 2 or 3 days a week and bike there and bike home, about a 30-minute ride each direction, and that was pretty good. What changes have you experienced since using Soylent? One of the big reasons I got into it was because it is a very evenly balanced meal replacement. So it has 20% of pretty much every vitamin and mineral that's recommended by FDA, USDA, whoever sets those, the amount of iron you're supposed to get. And so I felt like that really helped. I like to donate blood, but my iron is sometimes low. By drinking Soylent, I know I'm getting a lot more iron, or I'm getting a very consistent amount of iron, and so it really helps with that a lot. Can Soylent replace food? That's kind of the whole idea, is that it replaces food. So yeah, you don't have to really have anything else if you don't want to, but you can. Can Soylent go bad? I assume so. They tell you not to leave it mixed up for more than a couple of days. I will say, when it's in the powdered form, it takes a very long time for it to go bad. I have actually had Soylent, not the cocoa, but the regular Soylent, an older version of it that was over a year past the expired or best buy date, really, that's on the back of the package, and it was over a year past that, and it tasted basically the same. Can Soylent be used to lose weight? Yes, I would say it can. It's all about how many calories you're consuming. And so if you really wanted to measure your caloric intake, it is a very good way to do that. Can Soylent expire? Again, suppose, I think once it's mixed, it's much more likely to expire, but the powder, it takes a while, especially if you keep it inside. If you store it in your garage or attic for years on end, it'll probably not taste very good, may not mix up well. Can Soylent replace every meal? I don't know for sure. I can say it can replace a lot. I think there are people out there that have replaced most meals with it. I think, could it? Yes. Should you? Maybe. Maybe not. It kind of depends on what your goals are. Is Soylent healthy? That could be debatable. I would say it is. When you look at what's in it, it's a whole bunch of chemicals, but really all food is a big bunch of chemicals. We just think of the ones that grow as more natural. So I don't know if there's anything in here that's particularly bad for you, but I would say it's a good blend of things. And this is not the first version of it. They've been doing this for a while, so I think they're always looking to make it better. Is Soylent good? Yes, good. I like it. The chocolate stuff is pretty good. The plain is very plain. I always describe the plain Soylent as tasting kind of like you would imagine just plain pancake batter tasting. Very mild, not really much flavor to it. The chocolate stuff is actually pretty good. I like the flavor of it. Does Soylent need to be refrigerated? Yes, it should be. Once it's mixed up. The powder does not need to be. That being said, I would mix it up and then ride my bike to work, as previously mentioned, and it wasn't refrigerated during that time, but it had already been cold and chilled overnight, and it didn't warm up too much in a half hour in a bike bag, so it's fine to do that. Does Soylent have soy? Yes. Does Soylent taste good? Yeah, I would say it tastes pretty good. The chocolate, I think, tastes pretty good. I've had chocolate protein powder mixes that you mix with water or milk, and those I didn't really care for. They didn't mix very well. They mixed okay. They didn't mix as well as Soylent. They had some artificially, like, I don't know if it was metallic or what you'd call it, but it did not taste as good as Soylent. But those were more for people looking to get more protein in their diet, not necessarily a full meal replacement. Does Soylent have dairy? I don't think so. Food starch, corn fiber, soy lecithin, salt, mono and diglyceride, xanthan gum, sucralose, maltodextrin, canola oil. I don't see dairy in here, but it does have soy. That's kind of where the Soylent came from. Does Soylent have caffeine? Not that I am aware of, not that I've ever noticed. They do have versions that are caffeinated, and so I guess the answer is yes if you buy the ones that are specifically the ones that have caffeine in them. But I don't think that they all inherently have caffeine in them. Well, this was fun. Do you have other questions about Soylent? What would you ask someone who has had Soylent hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times? I've bought a lot of Soylent. I had it on a subscription that was coming in, so I got the little Soylent boxes. What are your questions? Feel free to leave them in the comments below. Subscribe, and then don't hit the bell so that you don't get notifications, because I don't have a lot of Soylent videos, but I would appreciate you subscribing. I'm actually doing a giveaway. If you look up the giveaway on my channel, I'm giving away something I made, and I showed you how to make it. Go look that up, and I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one, and stay cool.